What's up everybody, MechRex here, and today we're taking a look at Vega Conflict. I may turn the audio down a bit here real quick. Okay, it's a bit better. But I'm going to be showcasing this little game for a bit. It's been around for a while. But I do enjoy playing it. It's a spacefaring game. You control fleets, build a small base, per se, a space station, which leads to modules which mine, gather, research, and just in general improve over whatever you start with. And right now there's an event going on that involves hitting, as this gentleman right here is doing, the Demon Corps platoons. And the prizes are the Legion battleship, which is the newest one, which I will showcase because it is the main prize. I won't talk about the others because they're older prizes. But the Legion battleship is a fairly... I'm not going to call it a battleship because it is too slow. It's not as fast as other actual battleships. It has no range boost. It isn't a battleship. I'm leaving it at that. Now I'm going to show you why. 3 armor slots, 2 shield slots. I don't know of any battleships that have 2 shield slots. Second, most battleships I know of have 4 or more weapon slots, but it has a squadron slot. That makes it unique. Okay. So the next thing I would like to take a look at will be going like this. I'm going to show off some of the combat. It's fairly straightforward. I fight with AI on, but I'm going to go into a fight just show you what it looks like. And no, I don't have any of the high tier end game stuff because I'm not a corner. I struggle with the game, and there was a accident a while back with my account. I got $5 of credit for it, so I bought a commerce module, which is a $3 buy. So I get a never-ending source of coin. It's fairly good when I need it because it helps me skip a few minutes of repair time or upgrade time off of something. But combat is straightforward, and I let the AI run everything, so I'm actually going to deselect all my stuff so I don't mess it up. But most of what I do is fairly straightforward. I farm the low-level fleets during events because most of the higher-level ones, I lose all my stuff when I mess with them. I hit one of them, I immediately just hurt for several hours. And the game is based on hours because, first off, let me just say this. Research can take, in real time, up towards 7, 10, up to a week or 2 of researching. And you have to farm everything to start the research. You have to farm antimatter, mineral ore, and helium-3. Yeah, helium-3. But it's a fairly straightforward game in turn with some of the others that I've played. And I do enjoy it. It's a good way to spend some time. I spend about half an hour at a time, and I'll play it for about 4 to 5 hours a day. Sometimes. Sometimes I don't even touch it for a few days. Helps if I can pay attention. Got any coin? Nope, not for 35. No. Yeah, 35 minutes. But the game is a shipfaring game, like I said, space-bound. And these are all stuff that you can research with the exception of this little carrier right here. The Midgard is a blueprint carrier. And a blueprint carrier is one you have to earn pieces for. You have to earn the pieces by finding them, by looting ships, stuff like that. There are specific fleets you have to hit for specific ones. The Midgard carrier is a VSEC, which is a Vega security fleet, and it can be dropped from level 30 to 35 fleets since the rebalance a few weeks back. And they're not spawning currently, but you can actually go out into, I believe, the sectors where the main ones are spawning. Demon Corps platoon, do you have it? No, you have Eagle frigate, so it would be 37. 37, right? Yeah, 37 for the Midgard carrier, and I have basically almost everything from that tier. I'm still farming all the smaller stuff, but I'm trying to get the mid and high tier low-end ships so I can start working my way towards the better stuff. But my base isn't a low-level base, despite what the level 38 says up there. I'm retrofitting most of my turrets so that they have better firepower like this one. I just recently got the Gemini driver, and last night I equipped this little guy and this one with 1. And before my base was being 100% flattened, I couldn't really stop the AI from doing that. But now I can destroy at least 2 or 3 ships out of it and then lose everything. But those 2 or 3 ships are helping to push towards the ultimate prizes in here, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But my main goal is to be able to unlock and research all of the other ships, which I'll actually showcase in a separate video at some point to showcase the Vega security, which there are no Vega security runs starting anytime soon because it's an event. But I'm going to feature certain things. First off, the black market. You can trade it for in-game currency you can earn, which is a strive, or gold, or coin, which is what I call it, even though it's actually called, what, doubloons? Nope, coins. But you can pay to unlock these things, and I never do, because I mean, I don't pay to play, and the only reason I have a commerce center in the first place is because I got it because it was unlocked because of an accident. A very crummy accident, but an accident nonetheless. I wouldn't mind picking that one up. I already have most of the blueprints in here, so I don't need to do anything else in there. Actually, no, I need to tell you about it. It is a very decent place. If you are a later tier and you're farming low tier stuff, you can sell off in here. You can, in the scrapyard, you can sell off frigate cores, stuff like that. You can sell blueprints that you've unlocked. Well, not blueprints, patterns that you've unlocked of ships to get cores, and you can upgrade the cores to better cores to make better ships. Well, mark upgrade better ships later on. Next is crafting. This is where every now and then you'll get a good buy for things. You pick up decent things, and they don't have the Midgard carrier here yet. For anyone who has only the Midgard carrier, those mark upgrades are going to be essential for you, because to begin with, there isn't much you can do with it. It has a reduced range, only has 2 squadron slots and everything like that, so it's going to be needed. But I can actually show everyone how to farm for it. There's probably videos out there already of it, so it should already be known. And I never buy credits of anything just because they're a waste. Waste of points that you've literally fought for. And buying them out is just a total waste when you can just research stuff and buy stuff. And normally get the gun in-game during events, stuff like that. Let me actually show you. Credits are one-time use, and if you remove them from a ship, they're gone forever. Like these. These are all credits. I don't like credits. I actually prefer, let me show you the only thing I actually have that's reusable. A credit has this little icon right here, and it's a one-shot use. It's gone after it's used. Just like upgrades. You use them, they're gone, but they upgrade your ships. They actually provide a perpetual bonus. They never go away. Reusable items are the same way. Say if you wanted to put the Friendly Scattered Missile 3 that I have on... Let's just go down here to one of my ships that has nothing. Say you want to put it on a Komodo cutter for some reason when you could put energy weapons. Slap it on there. And it's reusable, so it's instant. It's an instant credit. And you can remove it as quickly as you put it on, and unlike other credits, when you remove it, it's not going to go away. It's not going to disappear. It's not going to be broken. It's not going to just vanish and never be usable again. It'll go right back here. They should turn all credits into reusable items during events, because it would make it so much better. Because if you get better ships but you don't want the weapons on them that you put on them, or you get better weapons for older ships, you could take the credits off of these ones, which these are all credit based, and you could put them on another ship, but you can't do that because they're credits. They're one-time use. You take them off of the ship, they're gone forever. But Vega Conflict is a fairly straightforward game. Much apologize for rambling on there. First off, you have your profile, which you expect from a game. You have a feed, which tells you what you've got. You have settings, allows you to check audio, language, stuff like that, gameplay, in-game, all that. And then you have the controls. You can choose an older scheme. You can choose a true RTS scheme or simple. I just leave it on simple. I've become accustomed to it. But it tells you everything that the setup uses. And they actually have little videos that allow you to move ships, toggle, and stuff like that. And I actually think they're training tutorials, not videos, but I'm not going to do anything right now with those. And then get back to this, I'm going to explain a few things for anyone who hasn't played the game. First off, this is your ship lab. This is where you're going to your beginnings are going to happen. You're going to start off, and you're going to need to research a couple of ships. The Voyager Corvette to your Rancor battleship are all Tier 1 ships, and they're all free repair. If they get shot down, as long as you don't put armor on them, you can instantly put them back in the fight one at a time. But I always put a shield on mine. You can actually get a shield called the Metaphase. Yeah, Metaphase shield. And any of my Tier 1 ships, they always have it if they have a shield slot available, just because it resists all damage types, and that is a very important thing for low-level ships. But you can create farming fleets out of Tier 2 ships as well. And how you can choose if something has a free repair time is the health. Every 1 hit point it has, so 102 hit points, is 1 second of repair time. So it has 1 minute 42 seconds of repair time. The Nighthawk frigate has 400 hit points exactly. That means it has over 5 minutes repair time, so I wouldn't use that for a free insta-repair fleet. Next is the Venom battleship. It has 360 hit points as base. I would most likely leave it at that, just because it would be an almost free repair time for me. I just have to wait a minute and I could skip it. But I'd have to add a shield, which would add health to it, so it would become a little bit longer of a repair time. Next up is actually, let me go back in here, the Extos cruiser, which is my mainstay fleet. 360 hit points, just like the battleship. Again, 1 minute repair time. I only put a shield on it. It's good to go. You give it weapons. I actually tend to use blueprint-based weapons. I'll actually show you which one. We go in here, I have archer beams, and these are all destroyer weapons right here. Carrier weapon, which I don't have because I don't have the Dominion carrier, so there's no use in unlocking that, even though I can't now. But the archer beam is an energy weapon for destroyers only. Why is it for destroyers only? I don't know, because it would actually make a little bit more sense to put it on something with a bit more health to it. And there's actually shorter ranged weapons. Let me see here. Most of my fleets are equipped with these little weapons right here. You can't see the name because I'm retrofitting stuff and upgrading stuff, so I can't retrofit it. But this is a thermal laser, or thermal beam. Mark II, the only ones that I have. They can go up to level 3. But I haven't farmed the blueprint for that one yet. But mainly I'm equipped with Seco missiles and thermal beams on all my ships. There's no indifference. Every now and then I need to replace a few of them, like that ship, or this one. But all my fleet layouts are effectively the same. Except for that one, it's got Gladius drivers for some reason. Next up is the little Midgard carrier, which uses Bomber Squadrons level 1, the only one I have, but it's better than the fighter squadrons that I have. And I need to farm up more stuff for it, remove armor, and just lower the repair time on it. And then I've gotten a few special ships via boxes during events. The Lance Destroyer, for one, is a higher level destroyer that is recommended by quite a few other YouTubers that play Vega Conflict. And if you don't have any of the end tier stuff, it'll be a good little step up, because each of these ones that are VSEC can be upgraded to Mark V. Mark V boosts damage, and each one I actually believe, let's see here. Let's go down to the one I'm researching. Lance Destroyer. It gets an increase in weight, cargo. That's it for there. Increased cruiser damage, reduced weapon mass, and increased shield bypass. They can be upgraded to Mark V. These are the Mark V statistics. It's going to be doing 300% cruiser damage. That is very effective because most of what I'm fighting now involves either battleships or cruisers. The next one I would be researching that I'm trying to unlock would actually be the Komodo Cutter. And it is effective against battleships because, as you can see, 100% increased damage. And what I would do is I would most likely equip it with a shotgun energy weapon. I would just rush the battleships to gun them down. But there isn't much that I can do at the current time because I'm still unlocking all of the mid-tier till. But Vega Conflict is straightforward with most things. And there's tutorials to get everyone started, and if you've missed the tutorial somehow, you can go over to your controls, you can scroll down, and you have your move ship, toggle, and setting facing right down here. There's no tutorial or video to show you targeting or anything like that. That is actual tutorials in-game you'll earn prizes for. What I would recommend though is just take your time learning the beginning parts of the game, because the later steps of the game can become a bit hectic, and slowly walking into it is better than rushing headlong through it, like I've done most of the time. But now I'm catching up on everything, getting all of the ships that I need, upgrading, building, and preparing. Most of my storage is full, so I'll have to upgrade storage at some point again. But right now I'm trying to rush to unlock. Is it level 6 for it? Is it level 9? The Javelin flagship box, which requires, what, level 9? Yeah, that requires level 9. At level 9 workshop, only have level 5. I have to upgrade my ship factory, upgrade it, but I think this should be the last thing I have to do for now. But the event that's currently going on is Devastation. The battleship that's featured is a mix of a battleship and a carrier, even though it shouldn't count as a battleship because it doesn't get the range buff. But other than that, everything is straightforward. You have your simple tier prizes down here. Your silver event box is going to be very popular among people who can't really get any of the higher end prizes, just for these 3 ships right here. And so far, I've bought each box during the event, with the exception of this event. And I just outright buy them, and so far, I seem to have a rate of, for every 10 boxes I buy and open, I get 1 ship from at least those 10. So you can get at least 3 ships from each one, so you can get a total of 6 ships, and each ship is good, better than what you can research and build anyways. And as for weapons, each one will be better than anything you research. But all of this from here, the Wormhole Blitz Drive and the Wormhole Drive Type E3, they're all for the Javelin flagship, and I'm not going to try and unlock that. I would love to, but that's just way too expensive. I'm going for either the Valkyrie carrier, if I can get enough, or if I can get enough, I'm definitely going for the Dominion carrier. Difference between the two, as I've pointed out before, Valkyrie carrier has 4 squadron slots, compared to the 6 on the Dominion carrier. The Legion battleship, though, is also a type of carrier, in sorts, due to the fact that it has a single squadron slot, which is the first for a battleship. It also has 2 shield slots, and actually that interests me. Could have sworn. Let me see here. Normally battleships don't have 2 shield slots. 2 shield slots are usually reserved just for certain cruisers. Cruisers such as the Revelation, which I have unlocked and have began producing. I have 2 or 3 of them, but some of them have absolutely nothing equipped. And blueprint ships such as the Apotheca cruiser. I think the Corinthian has it as well. I think every single cruiser up has 2 shield slots. But I'm still at the base ships mainly. The only one that I've unlocked that isn't a regular ship is the Midgard carrier. It's a blueprint via the VSEC, which you can currently loot off of some of the event fleets, but not all of them. Let me just get a couple attacks going, because I need to continue farming up points. But my prize list, if I can get anything, it will be the Dominion carrier if I can't afford it. Next up will be Valkyrie carrier if I can't afford that. I already have the base weapons, so I don't want to get the higher level ones because they don't help me much, because I don't have ships that can mainly hold anything, or turrets that can hold any of these higher level ones, so that would be useless for me. My main prize would be the silver event box and the gold box. If I can get at least 900,000 experience, I'd buy all 30 of these, and I'd go after the Valhalla carrier if possible, due to it being better than the Midgard that I have. Next up would be strategy. For higher end players, they tend to use a carrier and escort it with a fleet just so that they can use the carrier for its firepower, and they'll try and pick your fleets apart using the carrier only. How you can counter that is with researchable missiles. Specifically, the Hex missile. I've actually found it to be quite useful in dealing with squadrons. I've also found the plasma torpedo to be useful as well. Not as useful as the Hex torpedo or an energy weapon. If you can get your hands on a beam ray or anything like that, you're going to be effective against squadrons, especially if you focus fire on a specific squadron. You'll be able to knock it out of the air fairly quickly. Next up, I'd have to showcase the repairs. It's all fairly simple. Anything under 5 minutes, including research time, is all free. You can skip it for free. Most of the base ships you can unlock are all about an hour unlock time in total. If you take the 5 minutes off, some of them are a little bit longer, so they take about an hour and 50 to an hour and 60 minutes. And as well as all of that repair time, you can also buy coins to skip time. And the first coin I find is actually more useful than every coin after that. The first coin you take and add to a ship, well, not add, you use, it will take off 4 minutes and 30 seconds of repair time. Every coin after that has a reduced effectiveness of 4 minutes up to an hour, and then it goes down to 3 minutes, 30 seconds. It just keeps going down and down, so you get less for your money. I would say try and keep the fleets you use simple against AIs, so if they get messed up, you can take a single coin and repair a single ship for about 10 minutes of repair time. You'd only have to wait about 30 seconds. But after that, you would want to deal with your weapons. You would want decent weapons, because for the damage you take, you'd want to be able to dish something out. I would recommend the low-level farming fleets that most other gamers have set up. My favorite one that I'd have to say would be Manny Gaming. I have 2 fleets that he's done. I haven't upgraded them. I haven't gotten all the stuff for them yet. I'm still missing a few things. But Rancor battleships and the broadsword destroyers. I've mark upgraded all of these boys already because I know what they're going to be capable of later, and they're going to be my farming fleet. But what you're going to do is set them up however he tells you to set them up in his videos. Right now I have the base of them. And the next thing that we'll talk about will most likely be the tech lab, and I'll probably end the video after that. The tech lab is where you're going to research some of the more important things, your shields and your ship specials. They're all necessary for anyone who doesn't have any of the later gear, specifically for the benefits they give. They're going to increase weapon mass. You're going to have to keep an eye on just what ones you put on what. But the benefits they provide will most likely outweigh the extra weight if you have a heavy enough ship. So let's say you have, let me see here, what do I have? Let's say I have nothing but longbow destroyers. They're very, very small, very light destroyer. What can you do for them? Mark upgrade them, get a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of extra everything. But specifically, that increase in damage is going to be what you want. That 100% increase against cruisers. Then you're going to go over to your tech lab. You're going to check to see what special you have. And you're going to check to see. You're going to want long range for this little guy. Because he's so small, he's going to most likely be broken in the first few seconds of a heavy fight. But you're going to want to either give him phased projectiles, so most of the damage he has will bypass shields. Or you're going to want to give him iridium magnets. And you may only want to equip it with one weapon just because of the weight. The weapon I would actually recommend would be the Gladius Driver level 1. I actually believe it wouldn't outweigh the ship. Let me see here. Base, energy, okay, let's go. Where's it? AP. Whichever one you choose. The one that I use, though, is the Gladius Driver because it has a small explosive radius on impact with an enemy ship. And it's got a fairly decent range for the weapon that it is. AP Driver, though, is also decent. If the enemy is lined up, you can punch holes through each and every one, doing a bit of reduced damage through each ship. But if you're going to use Longbow Destroyer for low levels, you're going to want to try and get your hands on the Gladius Driver level 1. which should be farmable from level 25 fleets, I believe. Let's see here. Siege driver. Where's a regular fleet at? Level 20 to 25. I have a bookmark for one of them by chance. No, I don't. Give me a second to find the ship and I'll show you. But the loot... Oh, there we go. And Gladius driver level 1. Yes, so 20 to 25. You're going to want to try and farm for this gun specifically for long-range fleet combat. Specifically, you're going to want to put one of them on a ship, and then you're going to boost the mass. You're going to want to turn your little longbow destroyers into long-range weapons. They can't do much against most other targets, but this is where each other one comes in because each one has a benefit. For the longbow destroyer and destroyers in general, when you mark upgrade any destroyer, they're going to do increased damage versus cruisers. Cruisers are going to do increased damage versus frigates and cutters, and frigates are going to do increased damage versus destroyers. Battleships are going to do increased damage versus cruisers, but they're also going to have a much higher weapon stat, and when you upgrade a battleship or a destroyer, they both get inert shield bypass, i.e. they're capable of punching holes in the shield without the need of any of the phased optics, not phased optics, the, let's see here, phased munitions, projectiles in this case. And they can go up to, I think, 25% with a Mark 5, but you'd only be using Mark 2 ships, which I'm actually going to check to see what Tier 1 ships in all can do at farming. The first goal would be set up a small low-level fleet of a mixed fleet of Rancor battleships and destroyers. And I would strip most of these weapons off, and I'd give them bigger weapons to increase their damage output, but keep the weight down. Another objective that you should have when you're building a fleet is keep the health and the shields under a total of 300, because that is your free repair time moment. Because remember, for every 60 damage you take or have on a ship, that's 1 minute repair time you can take. Keep it under 300 for low-level ships, but at least make sure that you have a shield for them, so when it gets stacked up, they don't take too bad of repair time, and it's always going to be free. So if you lose one, you just go, go back, remove it like this, repair the fleet, add the one you just removed, back, and then repair it. But there's also other ways, because as you can see, the DPS is 120 on this ship, and I think it's maxed out in weight. Each of these is actually need to farm up some other things. That's another thing. The ships I would want to hit for those ones would be these ones, because I'd want the Tier 1 patterns and parts, which actually have plenty of other parts. But I'll start farming them off camera. I'll start setting stuff up. But if you enjoyed this little preview into Vega Conflict that I feel isn't very short, I think it's 30 minutes, an hour. Video shouldn't be that long. But if you enjoyed this little preview into Vega Conflict, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe as always. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description, in the comment section for me. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can, or I'll make a video specifically for the question. So if you have questions about crafting, which I didn't talk about, if you have questions about ship upgrades, the mark upgrades, which involves crafting, just ask. Any questions that just come up in general, just ask, and I will look around and come up with an answer if I don't already have one. If I have an answer, I'll immediately start working on making a video to put it out. But that'll be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.